Be prepared to change your ideas about who you want to be. This is an important feedback loop as you gain life experience. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. Throughout humanity's journey, victories in the external world are often celebrated, but the greatest triumph lies within. It is the conquest of the self, a battle where one confronts their fears, endless desires, and the shadows of their own mind. Only by overcoming oneself can a person truly wield the strength to shape and master the world around them. Man is often consumed by outward struggles, driven by ambitions to control, possess, and expand. Yet all these desires originate from within, from pride, envy, or a deep-seated insecurity. Conquering oneself does not mean suppressing these emotions, but learning to master them so they no longer hold sway. A soul freed from the chains of ambition and fear becomes clear-sighted, resilient, and liberated. When we turn inward and face ourselves, we realize that every external conflict mirrors an internal struggle. A great leader is one who first learns to lead themselves, resisting the temptations of power, remaining humble in glory, and embracing responsibility instead of evading it. A person can only harmonize with the world once they find balance within their own being. The journey of self-conquest is far from easy. It is a path fraught with challenges, demanding the courage to acknowledge one's weaknesses and the strength to rise above them. Yet, it is in this overcoming that the true meaning of life is found. Not in controlling the world, but in becoming one with it, finding one's place in its vast rhythm while retaining individuality and purpose. When a man has conquered himself, the external world appears smaller. The highest mountains and fiercest storms no longer intimidate, for his spirit has become steadier than any tempest. Such a person ceases to be a conqueror and becomes a steward, a protector, a creator. Someone who has triumphed over themselves needs no validation through power or fame, for within them lies a peace that no force can shake. Ultimately, conquering the world is not measured by territories or achievements, but by the ability to live a fulfilled life. A life where one is free from their own constraints, in harmony with others, and leaves behind a legacy of humanity, wisdom, and love. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, including yourself. Later often means never. Bad times are actually a boon, because they wake you up to the good things you never paid attention to. Never try to gain somebody's sympathy. The people who care about you will be there for you when you need them. You don't need to show them that you are their best friend. Luck comes to those who work hard. Good things do not come to those who wait. Don't make one person the center of all your happiness. Don't make them the reason why you are happy, because once that person walks away from your life, you're left with nothing. Any thought you have about the future is a delusion. Stop overestimating others and underestimating yourself. In life, we've all looked at someone else and wondered, how are they so amazing? Why can't I be like them? But have you ever thought that what you're seeing is only the surface, the result of countless efforts, struggles, and failures you haven't witnessed? Meanwhile, you're comparing it to your own weaknesses, making yourself feel smaller in the process. It's not wrong to admire others, but when that admiration comes with undervaluing yourself, you're doing yourself a disservice. You forget that others aren't always as strong or perfect as they seem. They have their bad days, their moments of doubt, and their failures, things you may never see. So why believe you're not good enough when you too have the potential you might not have fully realized yet? Everyone has their own path, and it's our differences that make each of us valuable. Don't let someone else's light dim your own. You don't need to be like them. You just need to be the best version of yourself. Remember, someone else's success doesn't take away your opportunity. Don't envy and don't lose heart. What's meant for you will come, as long as you keep believing in yourself and working for it. Sometimes, looking back at your own journey and appreciating what you've accomplished is more important than chasing someone else's shadow. Stop comparing. Stop selling yourself short. Instead, focus on what you've overcome, the times you fell but got back up, and the things you've done better each day. That is the real measure of growth. The world doesn't need you to be perfect. It just needs you to believe that you are capable, strong, and worthy enough to walk your own path. And when you start seeing your own worth, you'll realize that you can achieve the things you once thought only others could. It all begins when you stop doubting yourself, stop comparing, and start believing that you are enough. When you feel like giving up, remember why you held on for so long in the first place. Never put relationships before your goals. You may lose them both. People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of one thing, in which it is right to be stingy. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. Changes happen when we go against everything we're used to doing. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. You should never sacrifice what you could be for what you are. Human beings are creatures of immense potential, constantly evolving and transforming. Yet paradoxically, when faced with the choice between safety and growth, we often cling to the familiar, to what already exists. It is like holding on to a dimly lit candle in your hand, instead of igniting a room full of light, simply because you fear the momentary darkness that might come first. Accepting the present is easy. It requires little effort and spares you the discomfort of confronting fears or the possibility of failure. But have you ever considered that this very acceptance is a trap? A life confined by self-imposed limits gradually becomes an invisible cage, stifling your dreams and locking away your potential to go beyond what you think is possible. What you could be always far surpasses what you are. Within each of us burns a fire, a relentless call to reach higher, to explore peaks that we have yet to imagine. Yet to realize this, one must acknowledge that the journey of transformation is rarely comfortable. It demands letting go of old habits, outdated beliefs, and sometimes even the parts of yourself that you once thought defined you. Do not fear change. Do not let the fear of failure keep you tethered to the present. Failure is not the end. It is an integral part of growth. With every failure, you do not lose. Instead, you gain clarity, resilience, and the courage to keep moving forward. You must remember that you were not born to stand still, but to evolve. What you could become is not a vague possibility, but an invitation from the future. A future you have the power to shape if you are willing to step out of the shadow of the present. So, dare to step outside your comfort zone. Do not cling to what you are, merely because you fear losing it. The real tragedy is not failure, but never discovering the full extent of your abilities. Believe that in every moment you push past your limits, you are drawing closer to the best version of yourself, a version that the world both needs and awaits. Problems are rarely as bad as we think, or rather, they are precisely as bad as we think. Your obsession with finding happiness is what prevents its attainment. Money doesn't guarantee happiness, but poverty can bring significant challenges. Hiding from your problems won't make them disappear. Facing them is the only way to grow. People want you to succeed, but often no more than they want to succeed for themselves. Chasing a person doesn't give you value or build value in you. You earn your value by chasing morality and practicing dignity. Don't do anything you feel you'd have to lie about later. Time spent comparing yourself to others is time spent on wasteful thoughts. People will often take advantage of your kindness if you let them. Failure shows us the way by showing us what isn't the way. Failure, when seen through clear eyes, is not a terrifying adversary, but an honest companion, though at times a bit harsh. It doesn't come to pull us down. It comes to help us recognize what no longer works, the paths that won't lead us where we want to go. Failure doesn't take away our dreams. It simply reshapes how we pursue them. We often fear failure, but in truth, it's during those moments of stumbling that we learn the most. When a door closes, we are forced to pause and reflect on the path we've taken, the goals we've been chasing, and even on ourselves. It's in these moments that we realize not every road is the right one, and not every effort is worth the price. Sometimes, stopping is the only way to truly see where we've gone wrong. Failure is like a mirror, compelling us to confront ourselves, our mistakes, our flaws, and even our hidden fears. But rather than condemning us, it teaches us how to correct, how to improve. Every failure is an opportunity to try again, to change our approach, to explore a direction we might never have considered before. Failure also teaches patience. It reminds us that no road to success comes without its costs, without its share of setbacks. Those who avoid failure will never walk far enough, trapped by the fear of something inevitable. But those who dare to face it head-on discover that failure is not the end. It's just a part of a much greater journey. And remarkably, failure doesn't just show us where we've gone wrong. It also clarifies what we truly desire. When one door closes, we are compelled to search for another, a door that may lead us to places we never even imagined. So don't fear failure. Understand that every stumble brings you closer to growth, serves as a reminder that you are learning how to find the right way. Failure is not the destroyer of dreams. It's a small beacon of light guiding us through life's crossroads. What matters is not how many times we fall, but what we learn each time we rise again. If you are driven by fear, anger, or pride, nature will force you to compete. If you are guided by courage, awareness, tranquility, and peace, nature will serve you. You're going to make a lot of people mad doing what's right for you. You can fall in love more than once, You don't need to worry much when someone you love leaves you. Most of the time, it's for the good. You will have to make very practical decisions about what you want from life and what you're willing to give up. And if you don't make them, then life will make them for you. If you need more than one hand to count your best friends, you're not a great best friend. The single most powerful element of youth is that you don't have the life experiences to know what can't be done. You can't make someone love you by giving them more of what they already don't appreciate. Most of the time, you have to swallow the pain and learn to grow up by yourself. At some point, you just gotta forgive the past. Your happiness hinges on it. There's a lot of things worth caring about. Whatever is causing you worry or pain right now won't cause you worry or pain forever. Things change with time, and it will pass. In your heaviest moments, when everything feels like it's collapsing around you, it's easy to believe the pain will last forever. But the truth is, life is constantly shifting. Just like the sky never stays the same shade for too long. What keeps you awake tonight, what weighs you down so heavily now, will eventually fade with time. Life never stays still. But change isn't a magic trick that happens overnight. It's a slow journey that requires patience. Think of how the wounds on your body heal. They don't disappear instantly, but day by day, hour by hour, your skin starts to regenerate and the pain subsides. Emotional wounds are no different. Time is the quiet companion that heals them, as long as you're willing to keep moving forward. Right now, it might feel like you're trapped in a spiral with no way out. But take a moment to reflect on the past. Those times when you thought things couldn't possibly get better. Yet, here you are, having made it through. It's proof that you're capable of enduring more than you believe. Instead of running from your pain, allow yourself to feel it. In those feelings, you'll start to see what truly matters to you. Pain isn't your enemy. It's a part of life that reminds you you're alive, that you still have hope to rise above it. Give time a chance. Don't pressure yourself to feel better instantly, but also don't let your sorrow consume the whole of your life. Keep going, even if it's just through the smallest actions. A walk outside, a cup of tea, a simple conversation. It's in these seemingly small moments that you'll begin to find tomorrow just a little easier. And as time moves on, when the wounds no longer ache as they once did, you'll realize that the pain didn't just vanish. It left behind growth. You'll be stronger, wiser, and perhaps even grateful for the resilience you've gained. Life is always changing, and with each change comes the chance to start fresh, to keep writing your own story. It's normal to feel bad after making the right decision. No matter how nice and friendly you are, some people will dislike you. No matter what you do, don't waste your time on them. Nature hath given men one tongue but 2 ears, that we may hear from others twice as much as we speak. You give power to someone you blame for your problems. Life has a way of working out, even when it seems impossible. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and tames the fury of the water around it. Life, much like the waves, is a constant surge, at times so fierce it feels impossible to endure. Who among us hasn't felt like a fragile leaf caught in a storm, trembling under the relentless weight of time and circumstance? Yet it is in those very moments that we must look to the cliff, a symbol of unwavering resolve and resilience. The cliff does not fight the waves. It does not seek to evade or resist them. Instead, it exists in quiet stillness, allowing the waves to crash against it with all their might, yet remaining unshaken at its core. In this way, the cliff teaches us an essential truth. Sometimes strength is not found in opposition, but in steadfastness. When the tempests of life hit, it's easy to be swept away, to doubt yourself, or to bend under the weight of external pressures. But like the cliff, you don't need to become part of the storm. Stand firm in your values, grounded in what you believe, so that no challenge can strip you of your true essence. Yet the cliff is not emotionless in its stillness. It listens to the waves, it understands their fury, but it does not let them dictate its existence. It allows the water to break into sprays of white foam, and through its unyielding presence, it gradually calms the storm. This is not rigidity, but an artful harmony, coexisting with adversity without being defined by it. We too must learn this balance. Instead of being ruled by circumstances, we must master ourselves. Let the challenges of life crash into you like waves, but do not let them destroy your spirit. Over time, no matter how powerful the storm, it will ebb, and your resolve will have transformed the chaos into calm. Be like the cliff, not just standing firm, but becoming a symbol of quiet strength and profound influence. In a world full of chaos, what you need is not to run away, but to face it, to remain steadfast, and to let your inner peace ripple outward, soothing even the fiercest storms. Regrets can linger for a lifetime if you don't learn to forgive yourself and others.